Okay, we will start with prayers. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं
श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप
स्वपदाधिकं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं श्रीतापनिकलं श्रीगुरुं वत्सलामि हे कृष्णा गुरुवा सिंधो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त नमस्ते सत्कान्त श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी यशोदाने सुते देवी कृपा सिंधु पतिताना पावने नमः श्री अद्वैत हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम Hare Krishna. So it is very nice to see all of you again. Okay, so we'll continue our discussions. As last time we were discussing about the teachings of Lord Vishnudev, his sons. Okay, so actually initially we have covered two verses, I think, of that verse. We'll just continue from third one. Yeah. So we'll just take quickly a recap of what we have said last time. Yeah. So in the first verse, Vishnudev was telling to his son, "Tinaham deho deha bhajanuloke kashtana kamanurhate vidandhikaya tato dijam putraka ena sattvam siddhit asmad brahmasotya ikvanantam." Then he was telling to my dear children, so this living in this human form of life, it is not only awarded for working hard like a house and dogs, right? So that's why one should engage in austerity in order to attain the divine position of devotional service. Then he was telling in this verse, what happens when somebody does the austerity, then that person has to get purified, and then that person attains the eternal bliss or transcendental happiness, which is eternally. And then in next verse, he tells the process for that. How can I attend the devotional service? Then he tells in this verse, Mahaseva Dwar Mahavimukyam Stamodaram Yosita Sangha Sangam Maha Saste Samachitta Prashanta Viman Maheswarudha Sadhavoye. Then in this verse, he was telling how this path of liberations and this material bondage is there. And then he says, if you want to get the path of liberation, then you have to render service to the Mahatmas, highly advanced spiritual personalities. And then he tells there are two types of personalities, impersonalists and devotees. And then he tells whenever one renders service to such Mahatma, then what happens? Then he says Tamodvaram Yushita Sangi Sangam, Bhatseva Dvar Mahu Vimukte. Then he says whenever someone renders devotional service to the great personality, then door of liberation opens for them. And then also along with that, he tells whenever somebody engages in the association of the people, those who are materially too much attached, then what happens? Then that persons get bondage in these material lives. So that's why then he talks about the various symptoms of the Mahatmas. How one can understand who are the Mahatmas. Then first qualities of the Mahatmas tell us Mahatmas are equipoise. So they are like a equipoise, or we call this a samadrishta. So they are always stable in all situations. Then second qualities of Mahatma is tell that they don't make any differentiation between one living entity and another living entity. In the same way, Lord Krishna also tells in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Ki Panditaha Samadarshinaha. If somebody is a knowledgeable person, then he sees the equals to everyone, even for animal, living entities, or even in human spaces also, those who are from lower human spaces like a Chandalas, then he sees equals to everyone. Then he states that they are devoid of anger. So one of the most important qualities of the Mahatmas is that they are free from anger, krodha. And then he tells they are work for the benefit of everyone. So like they are not someone who are sitting in one corner of the world, but they are also actively engaged in the service of the Lord. No, like, and then he tells that they do not behave in abominable ways. Such people are known as Mahatmas. So they are also following the four guiding principle: no meditating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. Yeah. Okay, now we'll just discuss the third verse. It's a very amazing verse. एवीमैषे कृतसौहार्दार्थं जनेषु देहं भरवर्तिकेषु गृहेषु जायात्मजरातिमसु न प्रतियोक्तया दयाश्च लोके. So those who are interested in reviving Krishna consciousness and increasing their love of Godhead do not like to do anything that is not related to Krishna. They are not interested in mingling with the people who are busy maintaining their bodies, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And they are not attached to their homes. Although they may be householders, nor are they are attached to their wives, children, friends, or wives. At the same time, they are not indifferent to the execution of their duties. Such people are interested in collecting only enough money to keep body and soul together. So here also, Rishabdev, he was telling about the various qualities of the devotees who are on the path of liberation. So then he is telling that it's very, very important for the people, no, those who are interested in reviving their Krishna consciousness. No, like, so they always do the activities related to the Krishna. So they are always engaged into the activities which are related to Krishna. Then there should not be any confusion into it. What is meant by activities? So then how one can understand which activities are related to Krishna and which activities are not related to Krishna? Then at down, Rishabdev was telling to his children he he has to do the activities which are related to Krishna, but at the same time he also avoid the association of the people who are only into material things, who are only interested into their own maintaining their own bodies. No, like, so we have to avoid the association of such material peoples. No, those are only engaged into material activities. So why it is so? Why we have to avoid the association of the people those are attached to material things? Because what happens then if you associate with the people those who are too much attached to material things, then what will happen? We also get a similar kind of attachments, right? Then we'll also get a similar kind of desires like them. Then the way these people are only interested into the material things or material activities which are related to maintaining their own bodies and their family members. Then if we are too much or if we are intimately associated with with such people, then what will happen? Then we will also lose interest for the spiritual life. Then we also want to become like them. So that's why Rishabdev was telling over here, we have to avoid the association of those people. Right? Just 1 minute. Yeah. Then we have to get rid of the association of the such people. Then we may also ask our questions. Actually, we are living this material world, no, like we are working into companies, no, like we are associating with the society. Then how can we avoid the association of the such people? Because it's a very natural, no, like we cannot be like aloof from the society and we are sitting in the one corner of the world, like and doing our bhajan. No, although like if we live in the society, then what will happen? Then there might be contact with people. Like no, like we have to talk with those people. No, like we have to talk with our family members. Those who will not be interested into the devotional service, or we may also have some colleagues in our organizations. No, like with whom we have to day we have to interact with them. No, but although those people although we have to do the day-to-day interaction with them, but there might be possibility that those people are not interested into spiritual life or not interested in doing the spiritual discussion along with them. And whole day they will be talking nonsense like material things, politics, sports, and so on. Then what to do? Like Yeah, so like when he's talking, the association of the people. So then there are two types of association actually. Like so, first we have to associate with the people as a like a lokachar, like well, like generally what's happened, like then we have to like the way like we are living in the society, and then surely there will be contact with the people with be there, right? Then we have to talk with them. No, we have to speak with them. We have to spend some time with them. So we cannot avoid this thing completely, right? But what should happen? So whenever we are talking, then we should not be talking with them intimately. No, like no, there are two types of association. Like just normal association, we come. So when we talk about association, association means ऐसा नहीं है कि like when two people are living at the same space, then it is association. Association means what? Whenever there are heart to heart, no, like heart to heart connections are there. Heart to hearts, too much interaction is there, then it's called as a what? Association. And then it is a very natural for everyone. Those who are living in the society, then we will have interaction with the people. No, like, but what? We don't have to too much intimately deal with those people. Then we don't have to involve too much emotionally with those people. Right? When we involve people with emotionally or intimately, then what will happen? Then heart to heart bond becomes actually. Then what happens? Then we become attached to those people, right? Then it's become very difficult for us to say no to them, whatever they may be asking to us, whatever they ask us to do. No, like so now bolna it's become very difficult for us. So that's why Rishabh is telling in this particular verse that we don't have to mingle with such peoples. No, like no, like we have to like socially we have to be connected. No, like and then we have to deal with those people also. We have to deal with them only for the sake of whatever work we have, right? Right, na? Then we don't have to intimately related with such people. Otherwise, what will happen? Then otherwise, what will happen? Then we will also become like them. So this is the first thing. Then he talks about the qualities of the devotees. Like when he was talking, devotees are there. So even in this, in particular this verse, he was telling there are also householders. No, they are householder, they are grihastha, and they are devotees, and they are not attached to their wife, children, friends, or wealth. So because what it's become very natural. When somebody become householder, then such persons become attached to the four things. First, first to the just 1 minute. Yeah. When somebody become householder, then it's a very natural for such person to attach to the four things. First is what? To attachments to one's own wife, then attachments to one's own children, then attachment to the relatives. When here words comes friends means what? Relatives. And the next is what? Wealth. So then it's become very natural for someone who become householder, then he become attached to his own wife, children, relatives, and wealth. But what here is talking, Purushottam is telling, those who are devotees of the Lord, although they are householder and they are living in the house, but still such people, they are not attached to these four things. But at the same time, they are not indifferent to the execution of their duties. Yeah. Then here we have to understand two principles. One, one has to be detached from all his attachments, but at the same time, one should not be indifferent to the execution of the duties. Then how to understand this concept? Like one has to detach also, and then one has to be like not indifferent to his execution of the duties. Generally, what happens when we become attached to something, then we take that things very, very seriously. Then we work for that. Because we see in this material worlds, like particular attachments are also the one of the most motivating factor for working actually, right? Then if you become if you become detached about something, then we will not be responsible for that thing. Here, Rishabdev was telling, we don't have to be attached to our own wife, children, and wealth and relatives. But at the same times, we should not be indifferent. When we're talking about indifferent to the execution of duties means what? We have to act responsibly. ऐसा नहीं है कि like we don't have to take the responsibility of them. Then like this is one of the most difference between the Krishna conscious person and normal person. So हम देखते हैं कि normal people they are also working for their own family member. They are also taking the responsibility of their family member, but they are what? They are too much attached to them, right? But whenever it talks about whenever the point of comes about the devotee of Lord, then devotee of Lord also take the responsibility of their family members, but he doesn't become attached to them. Because what? What is the mood of the devotee when he takes the responsibility of his own family members? Then his mood is what? His mood is what? Like they are also the children of Krishna. They are also the part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna has given responsibility to me of some souls. So he has put some souls in care of me. And now it is my responsibility to take care of them. So the devotee are having such a mood. And in such a mood, they perform their activities actually. So whenever we are only as a caretaker, no, when we have the mood of a caretaker, then we will not become attached to that thing. For example, we'll understand this concept. So generally what happens now, generally people they are having two mood. One mood of caretaker mood and another is of ownership of mood. Generally what happens, generally most of the people in this world, they think like children, wives, they are owner of their wives, children and their wealth and so on. So that's why what happened, they become like a very much, very attached. Then we'll understand how it is like. For example, whenever we go into train actually, जब हम train में जाते हैं, then for example here from Jalgaon or from Mumbai, we want to go to Vrindavan. Then what happens? We do our reservation and we book our seats, right? तो हम हमारा seat book करते हैं. Then whenever we enter into the train, then we sit into that train. But whenever Vrindavan comes or Mathura comes, then what happens? Then we just get down off that seat, right? And then हम देखते नहीं कि भाई अब सीट अच्छा है या नहीं है, like अभी ये who will take care about that seat and all that. So we don't think about it like. So only whenever we enter in the train, then we have having very clear mindset. This seat is belong to me. Only in between what? Only in between Mumbai to Vrindavan. So this seat is not related to me before Mumbai also and after Vrindavan or after Mathura also. Right? In the same way, we should also have the same mood actually. Whenever points come to attachment to our own wife or children. So we are having, so they are in care of us only for the specific period of time. No, like, although like, so that's why very beautiful verse comes in Srimad Bhagavatam actually into Jada Bharat sections. Here Jada Bharat tells about the relation between the relatives, our own relatives. He tells कि there are different living entities are there, and all living entities, by the action of their past karmas, they come together. Like how the way in ocean different waves comes, and when waves come, then what happens? Then whatever sand particles are there, they come together, and they stay for some time. For how long they stay? Till the time another wave comes. When another wave comes to क्या होता है? Its sand particles get separated from each other and they meet with another sand particle. So हम देखते हैं कि जो रेत के कण होते हैं, one wave comes, then all become together. Another wave comes, they become separated, and they give with another particle of the sand. In the same way, same kind of relationships are exist in this material with all the souls. So different souls, they are having different karmas and different activities. And according to that activities, what happens? According to that activities, there is a possibility of giving different pain and pleasure to each other by staying together. So that's why जो हमारे फैमिली मेंबर भी होते हैं, so उनका भी हमारे साथ में कैसा रिलेशन होता है? It is like that only. We are obliged to receive some happiness and the same time some unhappiness also through them. So जो हमारे whatever past karma we have did, ना उस past karma से some happiness, कुछ आनंद भी हमारे लाइफ में आने वाला है, some unhappiness also will be coming in our life through them. So that's why what happens? Those relatives, they comes and they become our family member. इसलिए देखते हैं कि sometime what happens? Sometimes if we are really having some bad karma, so what happens? Some of our enemy, no, like some of our enemy in past life, he also becomes one of our family members. and right, and that person gives so much unhappiness to us, like so much displeasure to us, so much pain to us. You just imagine if some of your enemy is there and he becomes your family member. Miss ऐसा होगा because that enemy he's really having really a very, very bad intention or bad motivation for you. And if that person becomes your family member, then will become attached to him also, right? Then हम उसको छोड़ भी नहीं सकते हैं, right? और उसके साथ रह भी नहीं सकते हैं. Situation become like that, and that person gives a lot of unhappiness or a lot of displeasure to us, right? So that's why arrangement of family member and relatives are like that actually. It is according to the whatever past karmas we have performed, na, according to that, whatever pleasure or pain it is supposed to be come to in our life with the help of some souls. I say souls, they come in contact with each other in the form of relative, wives, children, and so on. And the karma rahega, so for that much time of being, they will give us pain and pleasure. And afterwards, they will get also separated and we will go also separated. So that's why, because devotee, they understand this concept from the Shastra. So that's why they are not attached to their own wives, children, and so on. So that's why they perform their activities only for the sake of completing their responsibility actually. So that's what Rushabdev is telling. That in last point he was telling. Is that people are interested into collecting money only keep their body and soul together. Yeah. Then this concept is also very, very important actually. No, we see because we see the people in these worlds are spending their maximum amount of time or energy into what earning wealth actually. Then Rushabdev, he was telling the same point in the first verse. My dear children, this human form of life is not only for working hard like dogs and hogs, right? Only just दिन रात काम करो और पैसा कमाओ कमाओ कमाओ. No, we should understand actually. We only have to work in a such way that he has to like just enough money to keep body and soul together. So just if somebody outside a person people listen it, then he will become अरे भाई ऐसा कैसा है? Only enough money to keep body and soul together. Means what? हमको क्या like we have to live like beggars? ना जैसे भिखारी जैसे रहना चाहिए कि हमको like living on to footpath ना just खाना खा लिया सो ले नीचे. No, it is not like that. So whatever necessary things are there, like whatever 8-9 hours are there, 7-8-9 hours जो भी है, we have to work for that. So that's why it's very, very important. Here the point comes of time management in our own life. So we have to be arrange our own life in a such a way that there should be proper time for nourishing our own body, our own mind, and our own soul also, like, right? So that's why we have to properly do the time management over here. So generally what happen, people they उनका life बहुत imbalance होता है. Sometimes people are too much into their own bodies, or some people that are too much into on their mind or too much into soul. तो हम अभी समझने की कोशिश करेंगे what is this body, mind or soul is there time management का. First, when we talk about कि some people they are too much into earning money for in order to in for the sake of what? For the sake of maintaining their own body. Means what? So इस section में कौन से people आते हैं? Those people वो समझते हैं कि this life is only ultimate. Like they don't have any spiritual thought in your mind, and they just want to earn money, no, like to just maintain their family, no, like family members, and just बोलते हैं ना खाना पीना सोना. So they have only this thought in their mind. No, such people they just want to earn money and just want to spend their money on eating, sleeping, drinking, like and having sex. ये चार चीजों में ही पैसा खर्च करते हैं. So such people are what? They think their focus is only on their body. And there are certain section of people are there कि their focus is what? Body and mind. Mind means what? मन को जो अच्छा लगता है वो करो. घूमना है, फिरना है, जो movies देखना है या क्या करना है. They are too much into mind. Too much into the mind. कि मुझे जो लगता है वो मैं वही करता हूँ. Although it is right or wrong, they don't mind. So one should not be into the first category also, one should not be into second category also. हम देखते हैं कि such people ना like they are ready to do anything till the time that thing gives relief to their own mind. उनको मन को जितना अच्छा लगता है ना उन लोग like people इससे हम देखते हैं कि हम if you ask someone कि भाई what you are doing this thing तो कि मुझे अच्छा लगता है ये करने से. No, इसलिए हम देखते हैं कि some people they go into like specifically the rich people ना, like generally what they do, like generally अभी तो it is a very new kind of fashion into like various big metro cities. Generally people they keep dog with themselves, and and they take care of that dog very nicely. से घर में रखते हैं ना, they spend so much time with their dogs, pets and animals, like ना उसको अच्छे से खाना खिलाएंगे, घूमने को लेके जाएंगे बाहर, no, like इवन इफ यू सी देयर आर वेरियस ब्रीड्स, कुछ डॉग्स के ब्रीड्स है, उनका अगर एक्सपेंस देखेंगे ना आप, देयर आर सम पीपल, सम रिच पीपल इन मुंबई, दे स्पेंड 40, 50, 60,000 रुपीज पर मंथ ऑन वन डॉग एक्चुअली. एंड इफ यू आस्क देम कि व्हाई आप ये ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हो, तो बोलते कि नहीं मुझे अच्छा लगता है, तो वो कुत्ते के साथ में रहते हैं तो लाइक वी फील रिलीव, बिकॉज व्हाई दे सो, बिकॉज सच पीपल दे डोंट हैव एनी स्ट्रांग फैमिली रिलेशनशिप ऐसा फैमिली में, बिकॉज although they have a lot of money, but what is happening, the relationship is so toxic. There is not like emotional attachment, emotional bonding between husband wife also, and even between parents and children also, and not and relatives also. ऐसा कुछ proper social bonding नहीं है. So then what happened, because it is the intimate desire of the soul to search for love, like because what soul is always searching that true love, Krishna prem ढूंढ रहा है soul. And if you and sometimes we get the tinge of that love, the family bonding also, like ना because थोड़ा जो प्रेम होता है उसके थोड़ी झलक आ जाती है. तो if one gets some very good family members, no, those who are really taking good care of us, no, like, and they are really giving value to us, or giving a lot of emotional support to us, then we get some tinge of that love of Lord Krishna through them. But what happened nowadays into this modern world, relationships are so toxic. Then even there is not a good relationship between like family members, even between husband wife also, even between children and parents also. Then what to talk about other relatives, like brothers, sisters, and so on. So that's why what happened. Then people they become lonely. Then what happened? Then they keep one dog, and they try to spend because what dog तो या डॉग्स के साथ में फाइट तो होगा नहीं, बिकॉज वो बेचारा कुछ बोल नहीं सकता है, जहाँ लेके जाओ वहां पे लेके जाओ उसको, वहां कहाँ पर भी घुमाओ. नो, बिकॉज दैट इज डिफरेंट एनिमल, so he cannot express his desire, or he cannot talk us with us also, even if we misbehave with him ना. हालांकि हम उसको डोरी में बांध के रखेंगे, वो बंदा बोल नहीं सकता है कुछ, राइट. देन देयर विल नॉट बी फाइट. नो, सो दैट्स व्हाई दे थिंक कि भाई अच्छा है, जो मैं बोलता हूँ वो करता है, वैसे सुनता है प्रॉपरली, देन दे कीप दैट डॉग विद देम. एंड व्हाट इज द रीजन कि आई फील बेटर, नो, लाइक, तो मुझे मेरे मन को अच्छा लगता है, like, so people do spend their time in such way that at least they are ready to do anything for the sake of maintaining their body, and they are also ready to do anything if they feel good in their mind, usko man ko acha lagta hai. So that's why even if you see in case of like a drugs, like wo bhi dekho aap, so why people are not uh, able to come out from the habits of drugs. Like what? Whenever they take drugs, different types of drugs or intoxication, then they feel little relaxation in their mind. So मन में थोड़ा relaxation feel करते हैं, and they become used to it. Like because because outside there are so much pressure is there, no, so much anxiety is there due to that cutthroat competition into this material world. Then people are having a lot of anxiety, and then somehow by some way they want to get rid of this anxiety. Then they take intoxications or different types of drugs, and when they take the drugs, then they feel some relaxation or some relief for some time being, right. And उस time being के लिए they feel some good till time of that nasha is there in, no, जब तक that drugs का और intoxicant का वो nasha is there, till that time they feel little relief, because why they feel relief, because till that time they forget whatever their problems are there, whatever issues are there in their own life, they forget that thing. So this such kind of attitude is like इसको बोलता है, there are one kind of one bird is there, like शतरमर्ग. आपने देखा होगा कि इसे शाहमृग बोलते हैं मराठी में उसको, like it's a very big bird. What happens generally, what happens in jungle ना, whenever it's some lion or tiger, he catches that शतरमर्ग, then what happens, then he keep running. तो भागता रहता है, बहुत भागता रहता है, like शतरमर्ग, it's a like very big bird actually. देखेंगे ना 10-15 5-10-15 फीट का फाइट होता है उसका. इट्स अ वेरी बिग एनिमल, लाइक जिराफ एंड ऑल, जिराफ जैसा रहता है ना उतना एनिमल, उतना बिग एनिमल रहता है. Then what happened in jungle? Whenever some lion or tiger they are trying to catch that shaturmukh, then what happens? That shaturmukh he keeps running, and once the time he get tired, वो क्या होता है कुछ टाइम के बाद में वो थक जाता है, however because first thing so he's a very big bird and he's having a very big body, and when tiger or lion they are chasing to him, then he cannot no, like he cannot overcome, वो उनसे जीत नहीं सकता है. He cannot win with a tiger or a lion in running. Then after some time he become very tired. Then what he does? Then he with his own beak, अपनी जो चोंच रहता है ना, चोंच से he start digging into the ground. वो ग्राउंड में एक होल करता है and he put his head into that ground and he just close his eyes and he start thinking कि भी tiger and lion they have gone away. ऐसा सोचता है. It's not a, like a it's not a history actually. It's not history or it's not like a story जो मैंने कॉन्कॉर्ड किया है. It is the nature of Shaturmukh actually. He does like that only. He just dig a one hole into the earth and he put his head into that earth and he just closes his eyes और सोचता है कि टाइगर है ही नहीं. But what? Whether tiger is not there? No. Then tiger comes and then he attacks onto that Shaturmukh and he kills. So generally, those people who take the refuse of intoxicants like drugs and different drinks, so they are also like Shaturmukhs. No, what they do, just they take that intoxication and they forget their worries or their problems in their life for some time being. No, or they think कि life में problem है ही नहीं. तो क्या जो ड्रिंक लेने से और some intoxicant लेने से whether your problems or your life will go away? No, they will not go away actually. Even they will become worsen actually. If it takes you if you become too much addicted to such intoxication, then problems in your life they will become more worse. So problem बढ़ जाएंगे, right? So then there are such people are there. तो उनको लगता है कि मेरे मन को अच्छा लगता है इसलिए आई एम डूइंग. बट व्हाट अगर whatever things feel good to you, it means it is not that that thing is right. No, so that's why we have to take a taste of the shastras. ऐसा नहीं कि हमको जो चीज अच्छा लगता है वो हमको करना चाहिए. No, what thing is right for us, then we have to do that. If we have given such freedom to children, अगर हमने बच्चों को ऐसा freedom दे दिया कि पापा you do what you want to do, then what will happen? Then they will harm themselves. हम देखते हैं छोटे बच्चे रहते हैं, so those children that because छोटे बच्चे रहते हैं and they don't have knowledge about the things in the world, how this world function. तो बहुत बार अगर फैन घूम रहा है एंड उनको अचानक से उनको उनको लगता है कि फैन में हाथ डालना चाहिए, राइट? और वो जाते भी है वैसे लाइक एंड दे जस्ट ट्राई टू पुट द फिंगर इनटू द फैन. अगर हमने उनको ऐसा अलाउ कर दी क्या, जस्ट बाबा आपको अच्छा लग रहा है ना, जस्ट डू इट, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? अल्टीमेटली दे विल हार्म देमसेल्फ, राइट? तो उनका हार्ट टूट जाएगा. सम टाइम इलेक्ट्रिक का सॉकेट है, वो जाते हैं एंड दे ट्राई टू पुट देयर फिंगर इनटू दैट सॉकेट. आपने देखा होगा अपने फैमिली में छोटे बच्चे रहते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई those people, those who don't have spiritual knowledge, they are also like children actually. They don't know what is ultimate benefit for themselves. उनको पता नहीं था कि उनका हित किस में है. What is good for them and what is bad for them. They don't have any knowledge about that thing. And if अगर ऐसे लोगों को if you give freedom to them to act whatever feel good to them, then what will happen? वो लोग ऐसी चीजें करेंगे कि जिससे what will happen? Ultimately those things will going to harm them, right? So that's why Rishabh is telling over here, like we don't have to become like that. Those who are too much into just maintaining their body, or those who are too much, those who want to do the things which feel better to their own mind. No. Then third point is what? There are certain section of people who wants to do activities. What is good for the soul? No, ultimately that thing is very, very, very important. And how one can understand what is good for our body, mind, and soul, then we can understand through the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why intelligence, once your intelligence, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and when we try to see our own life through the Shastra Chakshus. Shastra Chakshus means what? Through the eyes of Shastras. What are the Shastras? Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and different Puranas and Upanishads are there. So such Puranas, Upanishads, they are like a manual actually. This whole the cosmic is there. It is like a very big cosmic machine. And how to operate it, तो उसका एक manual रहता है. That manual is nothing but what? Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and different Puranas. And if you don't know the manual, and we'll just try to act the way we want, then what will happen? Then we will end up in harming our own self. So that's why we have to be, we have to maintain three things, or we have to maintain our own body also, because what, body is the vehicle through which we can perform our sadhana. तो बॉडी ऐसा व्हीकल है जिसके थ्रू हम धर्म कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज बॉडी नहीं रहेगा तो लाइक व्हाट विल हैपन, देन वी नॉट एबल टू सर्व आल्सो, राइट, right now in this situation. No, so mind also like that. So that's why body is there, because mind ultimately, mind ke through, because whatever different senses are there, senses get their instruction through mind, right? And mind should take the instruction from our own intelligence, right? And intelligence, they should give instruction according to the shastras, right? Then all this body, mind, and intelligence, they will be in the balance. सब उनका balance में रहेंगे. Then we will able to take a proper decision. So that's why it's very very important. Like then it's very very important to purify this all these three elements. हमारा body को भी purify करना चाहिए, mind को भी, and intelligence also, right? So there are different processes are there for purifying these different things. For example, if order to purify our body को कैसे purify कर सकते हैं? Because body is having different needs, different senses है. If you render some services through this body, then body gets purified. Then second, mind. How mind get purified? Mind get purified through mantras or chanting. When we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, whenever we do morning हम हमारी chanting करते हैं, whenever we are chanting was 16 rounds, then our minds become purified through chanting. Then how intelligence get purified? Intelligence get purified through reading Shastras. So whenever we'll be reading Bhaktivedanta purport, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, then what our intelligence become purified. Our intelligence become very very sharp. So it will know what is right, what is wrong. It will have clear distinction between two things: what is bad, what is good, what is right, what is wrong. What should I do? What should I do? तो क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, क्या अच्छा है, क्या अच्छा नहीं है. So we'll be having clear and clear distinctions when our intelligence will be very sharp. और intelligence sharp कब रहेगा? So when we will be giving input to the intelligence through shastras, जब हम भगवद गीता भागवतम पढ़ेंगे. Then next element comes ego. How ego gets purified? You get purified when we associate with the devotees. जब हम devotees के साथ में associate करते हैं, then we'll come to know कि भाई how we are behaving, like what are our attachments, what are हमारे attachment कौन सी है, like then we'll come to know about our different anarthas. हमारे खुद में जो अनर्थ रहेंगे उनका हमको realization हुआ. Then ego get purified by the association of the devotees, right? Then in this way our body, mind, intelligence, and ego get purified, and then slowly our whole Chaitanya will become Krishna consciousness, actually. So that's what Rushabdev is telling into this verse, actually. So that's why we have to only spend the time, enough time, because that's why we have to. तो हम ये point पे क्यों आए कि here last point, such people are interested in collecting only enough money to keep body and soul. So when we are talking about collecting enough money, very top points of terms of collecting enough money is what, because we are having very limited amount of time and energy. जो resources है हमारे पास में जो time है it's very very limited, 24 hours only in a day. So that's why हमारे day को we have to divide in a such way that we have to equally give proper timing to body, mind, intelligence, and our soul. तो ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ पैसे कमाने के लिए पैसे कमाते जा रहे हो, no, like just working very hard for 20, 18 hours, 16 hours, just only for earning enough money. Yeah, earning money is very very important, but you have to earn money also, and sometimes you have to keep aside for nourishing our own mind, intelligence, and soul also to the spiritual activities. Otherwise, what will happen? So otherwise, our life will be completely imbalanced, and will be like a completely unsatisfied person. And till the time you will understand, your life will be like go away. Actually, हम देखते हैं like so different people, they try to figure out what is the goal of our life. इसलिए लोग बोलते हैं ना like it is a very natural saying actually. लोग बोलते हैं कि भाई बचपन में हम पढ़ाई करते थे like ना like पढ़ाई थोड़ा 10-12 पढ़ लिया, then we started learning some technical education, फिर काम में व्यस्त हो गए, फिर बाद में बच्चों में व्यस्त हो गए, और बाद में जब होश आया तो जिंदगी चली गई. लाइक दैट वन डिफरेंट सेइंग्स आर देयर मेटल वर्ल्ड में. कि व्हाट पीपल दे डोंट हैव अ टोटल अंडरस्टैंडिंग अबाउट द लाइफ, एंड टिल द टाइम दे ट्राई टू फिगर आउट व्हाट इज लाइफ इज फॉर, तब तक लाइफ चला जाता है. So that's why we have to. That's why we have to try to understand this life through Shastras at initial level only. That's why Vrishabdev is telling to his children. In the young age में ही आपको ऐसा करना चाहिए ना, ऐसा नहीं कि बूढ़े होने के बाद में सोचेंगे कि लाइफ व्हाट इज द इम्पोर्टेंट ऑफ दिस लाइफ. नो, तो लाइफ चला जाएगा, फिर बाद में सोच के क्या फायदा. एंड वी कैन नॉट ट्रेन द ओल्ड डॉग एक्चुअली. जो बूढ़ा कुत्ता है उसको हम ट्रेन नहीं कर सकते हैं. इट इज द सेइंग एक्चुअली. So that's why from initial point of our life only, we have to train ourselves in a such way that he in this whole life will become a training ground for our own self to purify our own consciousness. Like, and that is possible through the Shastras only. So that is what the today ka meaning of this whole verse. So that's what Rishabdev is telling. Rishabdev what is telling? The first thing हमने देखा आज कि we have to, whatever activities we are doing, we have to relate that activity with Krishna. Second thing was we have to avoid the association of the people, those who are too much attached to material life, like they are too much into like maintaining their body, like. And then in third point हमने देखा कि there are devotees are there. उसके बाद में how they behave. So although they are having their homes, householders, although they are having their wife, children, relatives, and wealth, but still they are not attached to them. At the same time, they are not indifferent to it also. Like ऐसा नहीं कि irresponsible है, irresponsible भी नहीं है. They are in the mood of caretaker, right? And then we have to only work enough for maintaining body and soul. इसका मतलब क्या है? So we have to manage our life in a such way that we are giving proper time to our own body, mind, intelligence and soul. No, सबका nourishment का ध्यान रखना चाहिए. Not right? Otherwise क्या होगा? One part of our life will become nourished and another thing will become malnourished. हम देख ले, इसलिए देखते हैं हम कि there are people in this world, they are very 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 wealthy. बहुत पैसा है उनके पास में, but they don't have any intelligence actually. But intelligence ही नहीं है. They don't know what to do with that money. Right? There are some people इतना wealth है, कुछ भी नहीं है. They don't have any enough intelligence. Then they are doing nonsense things. Right? So that's what happens when we just focus on one aspect of our life and we neglect another aspect of our own life. So that's why we have to keep proper focus onto all aspects of our own life. We have to maintain this body also, then we have to take care of our own mind also, then take care of our own intelligence also and soul also. Right? तो हमने वो भी देखा कि बॉडी कैसे प्यूरिफाई होती है, एंगेजिंग इनटू द सर्विसेज. देन माइंड कैसे होता है, थ्रू मंत्रास. When we chant, then mind get purified. And how intelligence become sharp? Reading shastras, right? And ego कैसे होता है? By taking the association of devotees, ego becomes purified. So in such way क्या होगा कि our nourishment, जो हमारे अलग अलग एलिमेंट है, बॉडी, माइंड, इंटेलिजेंस, ईगो, सबका nourishment होगा. And ultimately you will become a proper person, right? Who can perform devotional service properly. Okay, then we'll just stop over here. If anybody have any comments or questions, then we can discuss for a while. Okay, understood. Today जो हमने discussion किया. Prabhu, you are on mute, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Kalpesh, I'm not able to hear you actually. Others are able to hear?
No. No.
Yeah, Vaibhav, bro, yes. Okay, you are able to hear me? मेरा आवाज आ रहा है सबको? Yeah, but somehow I'm not able to hear any one of you. बोलिए
आपका
कुछ.
आवाज आ रहा है?
हाँ, आ रहा है. विवेक प्रभु का मैं सुन रहा हूँ अभी. यस विवेक प्रभु.
आ रहा है आवाज, समझ गए
Okay.
क्या बताए?
Yes, Kalpesh प्रभु. Oh, sorry. No. I'm not able to hear you. पता नहीं like जो देखो नीचे म्यूट का बटन रहेगा ना वहाँ पे यू जस्ट सी यू आर सिलेक्टेड प्रॉपर. जो म्यूट के बटन पे आप क्लिक करेंगे ना वहाँ पे सिलेक्ट का स्पीकर आता है ऑप्शन. तो वहाँ पे देखो आपने जो भी हेडफोन ईयरफोन लिया होगा वो वही है क्या वहाँ पे? अच्छा. Okay. Okay, then what would you do? Just disconnect and connect quickly.